or side hustle. I bet there is a course on Skillshare that's going to take your skills to the next level. So please do check out the link in the description, because the first 1,000 people to sign up using the link will get 1 month free of Skillshare. So thank you for listening, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the video. Hi, you must be Paul. Yes, Dr. Hastings. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I've heard so many wonderful things about you. Oh, well, you are far too kind, far too kind. So, how has your 4 weeks been so far? Oh, well, that's wonderful to hear. I cannot wait to find out all the secrets that this mysterious rock has to offer. I'll be looking forward to going over all the data and research you guys have been compiling these last 4 weeks. So, I know you're very, very busy preparing for your return trip to Earth, but as you're probably aware, Houston has asked me to perform a thorough medical check on all those personnel returning to Earth. Yes, I understand this was done 2 days ago. 24th, right? I see. Well, you know what Houston are like. They want everything done twice, just to double check. So I'm going to try not to take up too much of your time, as I know you're very, very busy, but let's start right away, shall we? Okay, so I'll start with the medical questions first of all, and then move right into the physical. Are you okay with that? Perfect. Are you comfortable? As comfortable as you can be, yes. It's a little cramped in here, I must say. So, these questions are pertaining to your time here for the past 2 weeks, so not the full time that you were here, literally just the last 2 weeks. Okay? So how would you describe your general health at this moment? Any concerns at all? Okay. Any injuries during your time here? Right. But nothing serious. Okay. And are you taking any medications that you weren't taking prior to your arrival? Okay. How about your physical health? Any changes to your movements, actions? Do you feel a little bit sort of achy or anything? Okay. And how have you been sleeping? Any concerns there? And how many nights would you say you're affected by that? Okay. Alright. What about your mental well-being? Anything that we should be aware of? Okay, well that's to be expected. Okay, anything else? Alright, well, you'll be having a thorough psychological evaluation once you return back to Earth, but I'll just make a note of that for when you see the shrink. Alright. And to your knowledge, have you been exposed to extreme radiation? Not just the day-to-day radiation, but accidental extreme radiation. Okay? in terms of your radiation exposure? What level were you at the last time that you went out? Okay. Fully suited shade down and gamma. And what was the duration of that? Alright. So, have you in the last 2 weeks experienced any of these following symptoms? Loss of appetite, fatigue, fever, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea? And anything else you'd like to let us know. Alright, perfect. So that's all the questions I need to ask you for now. We're now going to move on to the physical examination. We're going to start with your heart first of all, okay? Any causes for concern there? Anything you'd like to bring up before we begin? Any pain or discomfort in your chest? Okay. Perfect. So, let's take a little listen, shall we? Very good. Nice strong heartbeat. Okay, good. That seems lovely, healthy and strong. Okay. Blood pressure now. Do you know what your blood pressure was before you arrived? And would you say that's a normal rate for you? And it looks like, just double check. Okay, so if you say it's that pre-arrival, then it has gone down a little bit based on the findings from the other day. So let's just take a little look at that. So if you could just hold out your arm for me. Perfect. Okay, does that feel alright to you? Okay. So let's have a little look, shall we? Okay, here we go. It's just going to get a little bit tight. Okay, so blood pressure has slightly dropped, but you still are in the normal parameters for a person of your age and build, so there's nothing to be worried about. But again, I'll just make a little note on your file just to have that double checked when you arrive back home, okay? Just to see if it keeps dropping or not. So let's just make a note of that. Okay, so like I say, nothing to be worried about. It's just literally just to keep an eye on it, just to make sure that it's not dropping for other reasons. Alright. Okay. So now I'd like you to put your hands right out in front. Just going to have a look at your hands. Turn them over. Going to just look. hands seem quite clammy actually. Oh, that's normal for you, alright. Okay, so I'm just going to pinch your finger and check the capillary refill time. And the other finger. Inspect your nails. Okay, now I'm going to be feeling the pulse in your wrist. Okay. Good. And in both wrists at the same time. Okay. Now we're going to feel the pulse in your wrist and lift your arm up quite sharply, okay? Do you have any pain or discomfort in your shoulder at this moment in time? Okay, good. So 3, 2, 1. Okay. And again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. Going to feel the pulse on the crook of your elbow. Okay, good. Going to listen to the pulse in your neck now. Okay, could you breathe in deeply for me and hold your breath and release. Good. Now we're going to be feeling the pulse on your tummy. Breathe in for me and out. Good. Same again. Breathe in for me and out. Okay, perfect. So let's look at your face here. Let's get a little touch up here. Pull down your eyes here. Good. Could you stick your tongue out for me? Put your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Good. Relax. Very good. Okay. So, I'm going to have another listen to your chest, but could you just tip forward for me? Not fully flat, but just at an angle. Okay, now deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Okay, could you raise your arm up in the air for me? Breathe in and out, in and out. Good, very good. So, your heart and its health, very good, very strong and healthy. So let's summarize my findings here. Alright, so let's move on. We have your charts here for your lungs. Now you have no prior complications with your lungs. The most you've ever had is bronchitis, right? Back in 52. Yeah. Alright, no asthma, no allergies. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to listen to your lungs. So, just breathe normally. Breathe normally. breathe in deeply, in and out, in and out, in, out, in, out. Alright, so this time when I put my stethoscope on your chest, I want you to say the number 99. Okay? Just keep repeating it until I say stop. Alright? Here we go. Okay, stop. Very good. I'm just going to feel your windpipe here. Good. It's going to be tapping on your chest now. Perfect, so lungs seem nice and healthy. Okay, so now we move on to the ears, the nose and the throat. Again, you haven't had any problems in the last 2 weeks, no known allergies, rhinitis or anything like that. Now, how have the noise levels been here? I know it can be quite noisy, especially in the engines and the mechanical rooms as well. Yes, so we do have a couple of different tests that we want to test your hearing. It's just a new request that Houston has put in. They're just a little bit concerned about the noise level, although it's not a danger to your hearing. Just over long periods of time, like you guys have been here for 4 weeks, it could potentially have an effect on your hearing and your ears' health. So they just want me to do a couple of in-depth tests. Okay. So let's start with the ears, shall we? Have you had any ringing in the ears, tinnitus, maybe feeling like your ears have popped or feel blocked in any way? Right, I see. So that could be contributing a little bit to a couple of sleepless nights that you've been having as well. Let me just come up closer and have a look in your ears here. The ears seem nice and clear. Okay. Very good. And this here. Okay. So your ears do seem very clear, very healthy. No blockages, perforations or damage to the eardrum that I can see. So we'll do just a little bit of a hearing test now. I managed to convince Houston to bring my tuning fork. Yes, they said it wasn't essential medical equipment, but I convinced them to, especially that they want me to do this in-depth test. So I hope you don't mind the old school approach. Alright, so I'm going to be placing this a couple of centimeters away from each of your ears, and I want you to tell me when you hear it stop ringing. Alright, here we go. Just tell About there. Okay, very good. The other ear. Okay, about there. Great. So now I'm going to be putting the pointy end just on the bone behind your ear, and I want you to tell me if you hear it better on one side or the other, or hear it equally on both. Alright, so what do you think? Better on this side, better on that side, or good overall? Okay, now I'm going to be placing it directly on your forehead, and again, just let me know if you hear it better on one side or the other, or equally, okay? Okay. So better one side, the other, or both? Perfect. Okay. So inside of your ears was healthy. Tuning forks was equal. So now I'd like to take a look inside your nose and your mouth now. Okay. Right. So how are you getting on with the lunar hay fever? I hear it's pretty rough. Who would have thought that regolith could cause quite an allergic reaction in people? And that stuff gets everywhere. Yeah. You haven't been suffering too badly, have you? A little bit of irritation. Okay, that's not a problem. So, I'm just going to open up your nostril just slightly using this. It'll be a little bit cold, a little bit uncomfortable, but if it's too much, just let me know, okay? So let's take a look here. Yeah. Looks a little bit sore and inflamed. How is your decontamination process as you come in the airlock? Sure, I understand. The other nose. Okay. Right, so your nose does look a little bit sensitive and inflamed, but if it's not causing you too much trouble, then I shouldn't worry about it too much. Could I get you to block one nose and breathe in deeply through the open nostril and out? Good. And the other side. How was that? That seemed a little bit struggly on that side. A little bit blocked. Alright, let me just make a note of this. Right, I see, so everybody's kind of been suffering. Okay, no, that's no worries. How would you describe it? Okay, so, yeah. Okay, and how long would you say this has lasted for? Okay. Okay, so in that case then, does this hurt when I press here? What about when I press here? And here? And here? And here? And here? And here? Alright, so sinuses a little bit sensitive. Right. Okay, not a problem. I've made a note here. Sensitivity of the nasal passage and the sinuses caused by lunar regolith, aka lunar hay fever. Alright. Okay. Now I just need to have a quick look inside your mouth. Any problems in your mouth with your tongue, teeth, swallowing, anything like that? Okay, if you could just open your mouth and say ah. Okay, stick out your tongue for me. Tongue to the roof of your mouth. And close your mouth. Big smile. Good. Okay. So, see a little bit of irritation at the back of the throat. That might be all connected with the sinus. Inflammation. Back of the throat. Okay, I've made notes there. So, no problems with thyroid or anything like that. So, great, but we'll have a little feel of it anyway. Any problems swallowing, any discomfort in the neck, fullness of the neck? No. Okay. Okay. And can you just swallow for me? Perfect. Okay. How are you doing so far? Yes, we're nearly at the end. I want to try and be as thorough as possible. You know what Houston are like. Okay. So stomach now. Any causes for concern in your stomach? Any digestion problems? Any sort of pain in the stomach or lower abdomen, anything like that? So digestion has been a little bit of an issue. Okay. Oh, I see. No, I get the same when I'm in any new situation. It can sometimes cause a little bit of a loose bowel, but that's absolutely normal. Have you seen any other changes in your bowel movements? Any blood? Anything that doesn't look right to you? Okay, well that's fine then. So I'm going to just press on your stomach, if that's okay, and you just tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort. You don't have any food intolerances or any allergies? Okay, good. Any bloating? Right, I see. Yeah, the NASA food isn't that much to be desired. Yeah, well, they do the best they can. It's edible and it's the right amount of nutrition that you need, so you can't complain. It's not like it's the Ritz here, right? Alright, everything seems to be fine. I'll just make a note of the digestion problems that you've been experiencing. Would you say that you have experienced those throughout your time here, or have they developed the last 2 weeks? Okay. But you say that's quite a common thing for you? Okay. Perfect. So, eyes now. You obviously don't wear glasses or anything like that. That's good. But have you noticed any changes to your vision for the time that you've been here? Alright, so that's very interesting. I need to make a note of that. So would you say that vision changes are mostly when you're outside? Okay. Let me just make a note of this. So once you're in your pressurized suit, once in a suit. And blurriness to the point where you can't see anything, or okay, so it's more like, yeah, I understand. Okay, that's good to note. I mean, we're continuously assessing how the moon, the lunar environment, affects eyesight and hearing and everything that goes with it. This is a brand new environment to all of us, all of humankind, so we truly don't know how it affects our bodies, for good or for bad. So I will make Houston aware of that. Okay, so let's take a little look inside your eyes. Okay, shine this light directly into your eyes here. Okay. Good. Alright. Eyes seem healthy enough. Let's look at your pupil reaction time. So just look straight at me. Good. 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 Perfect. All seems to be in order. Good. So, if you could follow my light, just follow it with your head straight, just follow it with your eyes. Very good. Now I'd like you to follow my fingertip without moving your head. Good. Good. Okay, perfect. Good. So, I'm going to do those tests again, but I'm going to be covering one of your eyes. So if you could follow the light. Good. Other side. Alright, perfect. find my finger. Good. Perfect. Here. So now we're going to be checking your visual field. I want you to tell me when my finger is wiggling and good, good, perfect. Now can you tell me how many fingers I'm holding up? Good, 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 good. I'm going to do all of that again, but like before, covering your eye. So can you tell me when my finger is wiggling? Good, good, good. The other eye. Good, good, good. How many fingers am I holding up? Good, 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 perfect, excellent. How was that for you? Right, good to note. So you felt a little bit blurry now and then, okay, but not continuously, okay. Okay, I've made a note about that. Pretty coincide with the other tests that we're doing as well. Alright, perfect. So now I have a Snellen chart, and please could you read down as far as you can? Okay, perfect. And now try again. Good. What about now? Okay. So I have this little reading material here. Could you read down as far as you can? How about now? And what about now? Okay. Do you want to have a little go on the other side again? Okay, sure. Alright. I see. Right, so I think your right eye is more affected by this than the other. Let me make a note of this. Right eye to be considered. Okay. Perfect. So then we're going to be testing your nerves and your reflexes. Have you experienced any pins and needles, numbness, any pain in your hands, feet, face, arms, or legs? Okay. So I'm going to be testing the sensitivity of your face first of all. And I want you to tell me when I touch your face with this cool pointy object, alright? I want you to have your eyes closed for this, okay? So, am I touching you now? How about now? What about now? And now? Good. Okay. Whereabouts am I touching your face? And now? And now? And now? That's perfect. If I touch your face here and here, did they feel the same to you or different? Good. And if I touch you now and now, did they feel different? Perfect. Now and now, did they feel different? Alright, very good. Yes, you can open your eyes now. Let's make some notes here. I'm going to have a look at the nerves in your jaw and your face. Could you just open your mouth really, really wide for me and close? Now I'm going to put my hand under your chin and just open your mouth as far as you can. I'm going to put some resistance there and try to make sure you don't open and relax. Once more, just try and open your mouth with my resistance there and relax. Good. Can you puff out your cheeks? Apply some resistance to the cheeks here and relax. Big smile. Very, very good. Relax. Now scrunch up your eyes really, really tight. And I'm going to try and open them. Good, relax. Now open your eyes really, really wide and I'm going to try and close them. Okay. Very good. And relax. Perfect. Right. So I'm going to test your reflexes now. If you could just scooch a little bit forward on the couch there. Just relax your knees. Good. 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 And just relax your elbows. Good. Good. That's perfect. Reflexes are all perfect. Now if I could ask you to take my hands and give them a really good squeeze. That's great. And relax. So we have one more test. Just going to test the movement in your neck and shoulder. Let's get a look at your neck and shoulder mobility. If you can just lift your chin to the sky. Any pain or discomfort there? Good. Chin to chest. Any pain or discomfort there? Good. Head back to neutral. To your right. Any pain or discomfort there? And to the left. Any pain or discomfort there? Alright. Chin to elbow. Perfect. And opposite elbow. Perfect. Shrug your shoulders very high. And relax. I'm going to put some resistance there and shrug your shoulders again, just forcing the resistance. And relax. Any pain or discomfort there? Alright, perfect. So let me just make some notes here. So that is everything done. I'm going to go away and collate my notes, cross-reference them to your medical examination from the other day, and then that will be ready to send back to Houston. Okay? Yes, that's everything I need to look at for today. I think Owen is next, if you can send him in. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Paul, and I'll see you around. Yes, have a lovely day.